Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. And today we're going to continue Neolithic concept. And yesterday we talked about the li, the strength that shows a plow or rake, use a farming tool to symbolize the strength who use that farming tool. Now today we're using another farming tool, which looks more like a plow than a rake, because the result is even shown here with five ridges of soil that the effort, of course, because it's Neolithic, it's about farming. It's about how to um, make this get ready of the soil for the next season. And way you can see the simplified and traditional in this time looks very different. And actually, many simplified and traditional, they overlap, meaning the traditional came first. That it's simple enough. Some characters, like yesterday's Li, we don't have any further necessity to make it even simpler. But some concepts were pretty complicated, like this way, this achieve, have quite complicated structure in traditional Chinese. So in, I think, 1958, Chinese government in mainland China decided to simplify it. They take out a lot of visual elements from it and just keep the outer frame and with this one dot to represent all the things going on in there. Okay, and this character at the bottom, this picture frame is script Chinese. So there are different ways of preserve the Chinese from thousands years ago. So this one is from the dictionary somebody compiled 2,000 years ago. So this from here we can kind of see how it evolved into this traditional Chinese shape, but the 2,000 years ago version give us a way better view of what originally it is about. So this character still in this rendering, still we can see the visual element of what's happening in there. The top frame here, it's three finger hand reaching on top of the screen. So eventually I figure out Chinese use three fingers to simplify a hand symbol because even if we have five, realistic we have five fingers, Chinese just use three. And that shows enough of a structure to show you this is human hand we're talking about. Most of the hand reaching from bottom of screen, looking like this, and occasionally from top of the screen. Eventually, I realized, okay, this is first person perspective. That means your hand. And here is somebody else's hand. It's not from your first person perspective. Um, Here you see somebody else's hand is probably necessary because this is a view to show you the full picture of what that person is doing, is operating this looking pretty complicated farming tool, a plow or some sorts, raking in a larger scale on top of the soil, and the result of that raking is even drawn out. And isn't that something? So this effort, exertion on the soil, that's the direct or the origin of the concept of what in ancient society, agrarian society, right? Neolithic means the starting of the agrarian society to perceive as accomplishment. In today's world, accomplishment probably tied with your net worth or whatever you endeavor to do in way more broader choices than in ancient times. Agrarian society survival, food security is still hanging low on our head, and to achieve something most likely to mean you succeed in loosen the soil in that farmland of yours, to use this imagery to symbolize that's your accomplishment, your achievement. So that's achieve. Wei eventually become this more and more abstract thing, that without saying exactly it came from the farmland, the efforts to toiling through the earth, literally, in this sense, it becomes more abstract. Okay, a few examples. 年轻有为, year light is a Chinese way to say young. Somebody is considered young according to, the NSAID benchmark or what's considered normal. So in relatively to the normal, what you expected to accomplish something, age, this is younger. The years are lighter than the normal number. Okay, 年轻有为 already have accomplishment. So this is Chinese way to say that some almost not exactly to the prodigy level, but quite accomplished as a young person. Okay, 四海为家. This is nomadic lifestyle that's happened a lot during COVID years. And so this four C's is a Chinese way to see the world because Chinese regard themselves at the center of the world, piece of land. And I guess imagine the land to be a rectangle shape. I guess that's the conceptualization because we cannot handle just zigzag long linear thing. We have to make things simple for us to understand. So this square box, just like its characters, is boxed up with a perfect borderline, and then on each side of it is four C's surround that. So I guess in Chinese, from early age, we realize we're living on this big, in today's lingo, continent and surrounded by waters. And for our conceptualization of this rectangular big piece of land or continent, then on each side there's four C's out there. And that means you're really going further away from your center position. You centrifugal, is that a word? Four C's, a made home. Way in this case, I use it to convert it to kind of an English habitual way to say you made four C's your home. So this four C's means a foreign land, far away land, not land exactly, seas. You're really out there, out of your boundary of your tribe, right? Definitely way off your tribe even, and then made home over wherever you go. So it's nomadic life. Okay, 无为而治. Gosh, this is equivalent of today's small government ideal. It's Taoism, came from Taoism. It's kind of a minimum input or interference from the government. So how to govern? It is don't do much. Don't overdo it because the fine line between do it just right and overdo is actually the bar is pretty low. If a government get too much involvement, it's easily get too much involvement. So the advice from the Tao philosophy is you don't non-act, you don't actively plowing, right, regulating. You don't do that much, and yet you can govern. So there is that twist. You're supposed to be actively governed, right? Here is almost like passively governed. You only interfere when needed. And that's the judgment call of a good governor or governed body. So there we go. It's way, accomplishment, or achieve. Thank you for your time. See you another day.